Hello and welcome to another installment of this new series. It's a little slow in my opinion, but I believe a good story needs some build up. Read part 1 if you would like, but you won't be left completely in the dark if you don't. As always, if I screwed up on grammar or spelling, please let me know. Also, what do you think of this so far? Enjoy. Deep within the ceasefire zone between the Tri-Federation and the Galil Empire, a lone ship travels with 2 paranoid pilots on board. Painted on the side is its name, the HCMS Chopper. What the ship's registry and appearance will tell you is that it's a human mining ship that just happened to get lost in restricted space. What the subtle modifications the captain has made to his ship will tell you is that it's a salvage ship looking for a forgotten battlefield to make a quick buck. In the lounge of the small ship, 3 beings sit at the table. The captain sits dealing out cards for the next round of poker. The cook and the doctor sit across from him, staring blankly at the cards sliding across the table. The last 2 members of the crew are on the bridge of the ship, learning how to pilot. The crew of the HMC Chopper are a mixed bag to say the least. The captain is a tall, muscular human with a bad smoking habit. His long career as an illegal salvager has taught him how to fix just about anything. Some even say he was born with a mechanical heart. How about another ghost story to pass the time? The captain asks with a devious smile as he deals the cards to the 2 Volans across from him. Another one. Where do you hear these ridiculous stories? The doctor replies, looking at the worthless hand he was dealt. I like the captain's stories, they keep things interesting around here. The cook comments back, trying to hide a grin. The 2 Volans were the newest additions to the crew. The brown feathered doctor replaced the last one that had quit after the last close call with the Tri-Federation patrol fleets. The other gray feathered villain had joined him and was a welcome addition to the crew. Whatever could break up the monotonous rations was greater than gold to the captain. Thank you, Talina, the captain says, taking a long drag of his cigarette. And for your information, Darpelin, this one happens to be true. You said that about the last one. The doctor rebuts. And it was. Now shut up and listen. The captain says. He sits up and puts out his cigarette before lighting another. They say there's a Galil prisoner ship from one of their many wars drifting around out here. This ship was once a proud gem of the Empire until everyone on board was killed, but not by battle or some kind of catastrophic equipment failure. No one knows for sure what happened. Some say the prisoners got loose and killed everyone before turning on each other. Others say the captain went mad and turned the war beasts on his own crew. Few even say that the AI on board killed everyone out of boredom, but they all say the same thing. If you come across this ship, do not approach it. If you do not answer its call. He takes a long drag of his cigarette. It said that the Galil sent out a fleet to find and reclaim it. Only 1 ship returned, the others were lost for all eternity. As if on cue, the lights flicker, causing the Volans to freeze up. The captain looks up with a sigh and starts counting out loud. Once he hits 3, the loudspeaker comes to life. Captain, your little trill just about blew us up again. The rough voice of the Gulvac emanates from the overhead speaker. Hole looks straight ahead with a slight grin. The Gulvac in any other situation would have stomped on the small lizard, but he knew not to anger the captain. They had gotten into a fight over profits once, and it ended with Marvel waking up the next day with a broken tail and a concussion. The captain brings his hand to his face and squeezes the bridge of his nose, letting out a stream of smoke with his breath. I'm not pissed that you fucked up the computer for a second. I'm pissed because I sent you 2 up here to work together on this. I figured with something important you 2 would get along, for once. The captain takes another long drag of his smoke. Guess I got to babysit you 2. The captain walks past the 2 sulking crew members and takes a look at the large ship in the distance. He looks down to a small screen with the error message still displayed. This the error you were getting? He says to the Trell. The Trell quickly makes her way to the captain and climbs into the seat next to him for a better view. She looks to the display and nods to the captain. The Gulvac soon joins them. This just means that ship over there is old as shit. The scanners don't have records on it, but I've seen one of these before. It's a Galil prisoner ship, obviously abandoned. Weird. The captain leans on the console and looks closely at the derelict ship ahead. Doesn't look like it has much damage on it. Should still have something worth something on it. Go tell the other 2 to get ready. The 2 Xenon quietly leave the captain to his work. The captain takes a long look at the ship looming in the distance, then takes the pilot's seat. A grim look spread across his face. "This better not be the haunted one," he says to himself. A few minutes later and the captain has maneuvered his ship to approach the docking area of the abandoned prisoner ship. The door opens behind him and the Vulan Darpalin enters struggling with a pack of tools. He clumsily sets them on the floor and leans on the wall. "Paul said you would need these," the doc says between breaths. "Is that the ship?" he asks. "No, it's the other giant empty prisoner ship," the captain replies. The Vulan walks up and stands next to the captain. "Just like in your story. How convenient that we come across it just after you tell us the story." "You knew we were heading toward it, didn't you?" he questions the captain. "You're always a skeptic. Maybe that story came from a bit of truth," the captain says. Before Darpalin can counter, the communications display springs to life. A call from the long-dead ship fills the screen in front of the Vulan. The captain and the doctor look at each other with hesitation building in their eyes. "If it's just a story, why don't you answer it?" the captain goads Darpalin. "What if it's a trap?" the Vulan asks. "What's that broadcast ship gonna do? Quit Stalin?" The captain smiles as he slowly reaches for the answer button. Darpalin couldn't let this chance to prove he was braver than the captain pass him by. He quickly hits the button before the captain. Ear-wrenching static erupts from the display before all the electronics power down. The lights power back on, revealing the captain still in his chair, while the Vulan is clinging to him for dear life. The captain brushes off the terrified Xian and pores over the status logs as everything else comes back online. Everything seems to be in order until he looks to the maps. Instead of the normal star charts, he is met by a blank screen with two dots. One that indicates his ship and one for the ship in front of him. "Well, shit," the captain moans. "Our star charts are gone, so it looks like we're going to have to take theirs." It's not long before the HCMS Chopper has linked up with a larger Galil ship and the crew makes their way on board. The suited up crew exit the airlock and step into the huge pitch black loading dock. The captain turns on his helmet light and the crew follows suit. The solar cells must still be functional, but why aren't any of the lights working? Pole questions from her seat on Darpalin's shoulder. The ship must be in power reservation mode. It's only powering basic things like doors and maintenance nodes. Looks like power to the life support was deemed a luxury by the ship's AI. The captain explains. "We just need to get to one of the maintenance nodes to turn the lights and air on. Spread out and try to find one, hopefully they built one in here." The crew split up into 3 groups. The Vulans stick together, while the Trill and Golvac begrudgingly stay close to each other. The captain heads up the stairs alone. The crew discover that the loading dock is surprisingly barren. Not a container or tool to be found. The Vulans come across a large scar in the metal floor. Something large and heavy was dragged through here. The Golvac Trill combo come across something far more disturbing. A Galil arm still clutched to a pipe on the back wall. They call over the rest of the crew, and it doesn't take long for the captain to piece together what happened in this dark room. Both airlocks had been opened at the same time, causing everything in this room to be sucked out into the void of space. I don't like this at all," Paul stammers out. "Let's get out of here, there is obviously no node here. I found another large room upstairs," the captain says while poking the disembodied arm. "It had some tools in it, so I'm assuming it's some kind of engineering bay." The captain takes the lead up the stairs with the rest of the crew quickly following, eager to leave that monster's arm behind. They cross a long dark hallway, careful not to trip on the scattered weapons littering the floor. The captain opens the door to the engineering bay, while the crew take a closer look at the discarded weapons. The captain takes a long look into the darkness and sees a dim light to his right. He makes his way to the beacon, tripping on a few large objects strewn across the floor. After an arduous journey to the light, the captain discovers that it is the maintenance console they had been looking for. "Found it, get in here," he yells to the rest of the crew still in the hallway. "And watch your step, there's crap all over the sounds of 4 Xians crashing to the floor interrupts him. "Floor." He turns back to the console and begins the powering up sequence. You would think that they would change these things after a few hundred years. "I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix it" is something they take to heart, he says to himself as he navigates the familiar menus. "What the hell did we trip over?" The Gulvac says, standing up. I don't know, but it was hard. The cook says, rubbing her shin. A large crack, then the sound of electrical buzzing fills the air. The lights flash and flicker until a steady light steals the room from the darkness. The crew falls into stunned silence as they see what they have been falling over. The carapaces of the Galil that once manned the ship. The Galil exoskeleton that was so well suited for battle made the perfect record of their last moments. The look of sheer terror forever etched on their faces was something the crew would never forget. Damn. The captain says, breaking the silence. He walks over to the petrified crew, most of which had lost the strength to stand. Everywhere he looks there are bodies. Each one telling a story of fear and death. Even the limbs scattered about the floor told him about might of the beasts ripping apart the Galil. The bodies piled around the doors and the deep gouges in the frame told him how desperate they were trying to escape. The few primal skeletons with their claws still embedded in the Galil gave him a clue on what these beasts were. They were some of the Galil's war beasts. CC Captain. Talina's voice grabs the captain's attention. Did that ship in your story have a name? She stutters out, trembling with fear. Yeah. I kind of forgot it though. I think it started with an S. The Spirit. The Silent something. He says, trying to recall the old ghost story. His calm demeanor betraying the silent violence all around him. Was it the spite? She asks, never looking away from the back wall. That was it. How did you guess that? The captain asks, walking next to the frozen Vulan. She raises her arm and points to an electronic display high on the back wall. On it reads, "Welcome to the HCS Spite." Of fucking course. The captain sighs. He looks over to his crew and grabs the Gulvac by the arm. He brings the beast to his feet and moves to help his next crew member up. Enough gawking, everyone, we got a job to do. Author's name and the link to original text in the description. Consider tapping the thumbs up and pressing the subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. And please join our channel.